I want to cry because it's horrible. So today we're going to be fixing my Suzuki Ignis Sport as it has an issue with its inner tie rod. Basically, the issue on the car is the wheels are facing the wrong direction, as you can see right now. We got to get this car up and running because we're going to make it a race car, or we're going to try and flip it for some profit. But that's what you guys in the comments need to tell me what we should do. First things first, we've got to try and loosen the wheel, and it's easier to do that while the car's on the floor. As long as I don't tear the wheel off completely, we should be fine. These tyres are a little bit fucked, so we might have to get some more of those. Also, the issue is I don't have a lot of room to manoeuvre. I'm quite close to me wall here. So here I'm just loosening off all the bolts with my torque wrench. I do have an impact gun, but that is not good to loosen the bolts off straight away. I've only got a cheap one. It doesn't really do a fantastic job, and I also don't want to round off those bolts. That should be straight, but I've never taken one of these off before. Could be quite fun. I have no idea what I'm doing. Let's try and get this badger off, shall we? So now I was trying to get the tie rod end bolt off of the car, which seemed to be more difficult than I actually first thought. I thought I would just be able to whiz the drill on it and everything would be hunky-dory, but unfortunately it was not that easy because it was rusted to fuck on there. This car is a 2003 car and it has only done 61,000 miles, so it has sat around for quite a lot of its life. Apart from the last 2 years where it has been owned by someone different, and they have absolutely used and abused this car to its full potential. I'm pretty sure these people liked horses or they lived on a farm, because this car on the inside is absolutely filthy. But we'll get onto that in a different video, so make sure you hit that subscribe button for that. This bolt was being quite stubborn, but we did get there eventually. Probably after about 20 minutes I squirted loads of WD-40 on it, let it sit for a little while, and then I'll just whiz the impact driver on it. Easy peasy. Do not have an impact driver, I highly recommend getting one. One was from Lidl, it was literally like 25 quid, plus the battery was another 25 quid, 50 quid in total. It does a fucking fantastic job. So basically what is under the car is a washer that is put over the flat bit. I've got to get a screwdriver underneath both sides, and then basically get a spanner on there and twist it out. It sounds easy. Turns out it wasn't that easy. I did preempt that it wasn't going to be that easy because nothing on cars is ever easy. So I did spend £30 a couple of days ago on Amazon to buy a specialist tool to take off the inner tie rod. Unfortunately, because this tie rod was bent, the tool wouldn't go over the top, and therefore I wouldn't be able to unscrew the tie rod that was in the car current. So we had to get the angle grinder out, cut off that little bent bit just so I could actually do the job. So we can fit the tool onto the tie rod end and get it off, because it was going to be really difficult to do it while this was bent. This is really hot, so I'm now going to put it down. Basically what the tool does is go on this end, obviously the fucking nut won't be on it, and it clamps onto here, and then we're just going to twist it out. But obviously, like I said, with the bend in this one, you couldn't have done that. But what we're also going to do is keep this bolt in exactly the same place. We haven't moved it, so we're going to put this new bolt around about the same place and hope that the tracking is somewhat okay. For all you mechanic nerds, they're going to say, you shouldn't do it that way. Go fuck yourself. Badger. So would you believe me if I told you I've never done this action before in my life? I'm pretty fucking good at it though, aren't I? See, people have said I'm not a mechanic. I've taken off a fucking track rod. So this little boot thing goes over the new track rod. I didn't record me taking it off in the first place, so I'm sorry about that. What I'm showing you now is where there was a metal clip on the previous time. We did have to cut that off when we were taking it off the first time. So this time we're going to have to use a cable tie or something along those lines just to keep it in place temporarily, just until I can get some metal wire from Halfords, Wicks, or wherever you get it from. It's all good fun. My neck's starting to hurt now. Within the next hour, this car will be drivable-ish. Not sure if you're supposed to use cable ties. Probably not. Probably not the specified thing, but fuck it. Japanese, innit? So, and again, for all you TikTok and YouTube mechanics, go fuck yourself. Oh no, I've done it fucking backwards.
Mechanics, go fuck yourself. Oh no, I've done it backwards.
So it was at this point that we had finished up with the tie rod end and we went to set the car out for a little test drive. Unfortunately, something does go wrong in the next 30 seconds. This front wheel does have some really awful inward camber. Unfortunately, the issue is a lot worse than that. As soon as we drive this car off of my driveway and drive it 2 seconds up the road, we lose every single gear in the Ignis Sport. Unfortunately, all the footage corrupted and we only have me pushing it back on my driveway. This was the most disheartening thing all day. So we've now literally lost all gears, as you just saw. So now we've got to get it back up again and hopefully try and figure out what the fuck is wrong with this piece of shit. I'm sure it'd be something simple. The gearbox can't be fucked because it was working, right? Surely. I want to cry because it's horrible. I then called the old man to tell him the good news. Always very supportive, so it's good to have him on side. I'm sure he'll be full of enthusiasm. So, managed to fix that.
Well done.
So, it's reasonably straight-ish.
Yeah.
Now, so I just took it for a razz up the road. Lost all gears, which is nice. So we had to push it back, which was lovely.
Where'd you put it back from?
Up the fucking road.
Oh. Lost all its gears.
I don't know. We then got the fat bitch back up in the air to see what the problem was. I have no mechanical knowledge whatsoever at all, so I didn't even have a fucking clue what I was looking at. Thankfully, my neighbour is quite mechanically minded and he sort of knows cars, which is quite lucky for me, because if it wasn't for him, then this car would have probably been scrapped, because I was absolutely fuming. And obviously, I don't really know what I'm looking at, which is a bit of a problem. While I was under the car, I couldn't actually see anything wrong with it, but then that's because I'm not mechanically minded, as I just said. But we were sat in the car at one point, and we were putting the car into gear, because it would still go into gear, the car just wouldn't move anywhere. But we noticed that the speed was going up on the speedometer. Jay had the wise idea to check the drive shafts to see if they are both in, because this is an open diff. So if one of them would have fallen out, it would have been sending the power to the one that wasn't connected, and obviously that isn't going to move the car because it's not connected. If you've never connected a drive shaft before, all it does is actually just push in, which I didn't know before. I didn't even know that was a thing. All you just need to do is give it a bit of welly, give it a bit of strength, which is obviously what I was struggling right here, because I'm not the strongest person in the world, and using my arms is not something I do every day unless it's for wanking. But eventually we did manage to get it back in, and thankfully the car was back on the road again. Hopefully it doesn't break down this time. What a better way to test it than just absolutely rag it down my road. Obviously the car drove absolute shit because the tracking is way out. Both wheels are pointing in completely different directions. We thought to be safe that we'd measured the chassis and make sure it wasn't bent, even though this car is a category N. Everyone knows not to trust Copart because they are known to lie on their auctions. More for just my peace of mind because I was just worried about the car being bent. I've said before in this video, this car has had a hard life for the past 2 years. And fuck knows what the previous owner had done to it. They absolutely fucked that front wheel, so God knows what else could have been broken underneath the car. So what we're doing right now is measuring the car from one side of the chassis to the other in a diagonal. We're going to make sure that both sides are exactly the same. If they are, that's good. The chassis is completely straight. But if they're not and they're different, then that means the chassis is bent. Which obviously means that we've been missold a car from Copart and I won't be fucking best pleased. Thankfully, both measurements came out exactly the same, which means the chassis is perfectly straight, which means I don't have to complain. So the chassis is not bent, as you just saw. That is it for today's video. We now have a working and drivable car after some mishaps. In next week's video, we will be cleaning the inside and the outside of the car because it is absolutely disgusting. The inside of this car is like a dog sanctuary. It is truly disgusting. So who knows, I might throw up in the next video, so make sure you hit that subscribe button for that. I've been me, you've been you. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know any suggestions you want me to do with the Ignis Sport in the comments, and I'll see you in the fucking next one.